So this is the Maven life cycle phases. So the same the life cycle is available in the Maven 5 minutes page. So if you go through the same page, that is fair enough. You don't need to do R&D on the Maven. So whatever the commands, what is the procedure which I tell you today is fair enough to work with Maven. And post this, you don't need to learn anything about Maven. So basically in Maven there are a couple of life cycle. Some people call it life cycle, some people call it phases. So these are all the phases which involve in the Maven process. And in regularly we don't even use these commands. We programmatically do a pipeline. There this command will run. But whenever there is an issue, whenever we wanted to do some troubleshoot, at the time we must know what is the logic behind it and what command give you what kind of output, what kind of error. That awareness you should have. If you say MVN package, we already used that package command. It will create one bundle of file which is already having all the developer code. It can be Java backend files, front-end files, or configuration files, anything, images, everything it will include. MVN validate. Validate means it will just validate the existing structure. So you can simply type all these commands in the presence of pom.xml. If you have pom.xml only and src folder, all these commands will be validated. So you can simply type all these commands one by one. See, build is success. That means it doesn't have any problem with the existing structure of Java code. And the other command is mvn compile. So when you do package, it already consists of validate, compile, test, integration test, verify, everything it will include. But these sections individually we are looking at what are the life cycle which are involved in this process. If you simply type Maven package, it will consist of all the below things. But if you wanted to run only individually, separately, if you wanted to run these commands, you can still do that because these functions will do individually. You can even do Maven test. So it will now run the unit test cases. So build is successful. So if you do Maven package, in the Maven package, all these tests compile, everything will come together. Sometimes you don't even recognize that, but it will include. So Maven compiler it used, and compiler, and somewhere it will use default test, and all these things it will be involved. And integration test. Some people, in some developers, will write the integration test. For that, you need to use this one, mvn integration test. All these commands will usually come from the developers. You don't need to worry. So for what kind of code, what kind of command you need to use, developer will suggest you. The DevOps engineer scope, as I told you that, right, to make the product delivery faster. This is the main motive. So in the process of making the product delivery faster, it should not have bugs. It should not have any backlogs. All the code should be properly integrated. All the code should be properly deployed and should be running. It should not have any security vulnerabilities. So all these things, DevOps engineer's responsibility. The DevOps engineer should have an idea about all the stages in the SDLC life cycle, but don't need to be expert in development or testing or any other activity. And mvn verify. Let's verify that command. Yeah. So here one important command is mvn install. Install means in general meaning it will do some installations. But in case of mvn install, it downloads some of the dependency plugins, required plugins, and keep it in the local machine. See, it is downloading some of the plugins from repo.maven.apache.org. It has downloaded, and it will keep all these files into .m2 folder, which is there in your local profile. If you go to .m2, this is the repository used by Maven. So it will be created under your profile. Okay, that is the purpose of this MVN install. So why it needs to store in the local profile means it doesn't want to download all every time from the remote. Remote, what I mean is, it can be internet or it can be any intermediate server where it will provide the required plugins for Maven. Next, MVN deploy. MVN deploy means whatever the package which we have created using Maven package, that package it will copy to respective destination servers. So wherever we wanted to copy that deployed developed package, it will be able to do the deployment. Maven clean. Clean means it will delete the content of .m2. Install means it will install, it will copy the all the dependency plugins, whatever the required artifacts from remote repository and keep it in our local .m2 folder. But Maven clean, it does the reverse. It will delete all the local files. Maven site means by default it will generate the documentation. It gives a default documentation for the Java code which you have developed. It might not be the exact release code, release notes which you want, but on top of that, you can modify. So all the commands which are useful for your building process. Your life will be very, very easy once you know Maven. But before Maven comes, prior to Maven generation, there was a tool called Apache Ant. In that generation Apache Ant, people struggled like anything because for Maven package, similar kind of code they need to write manually. They need to write mandatory. It doesn't have any predefined data structure. Nothing. They have to with their bare hand. They need to write all the code. They need to probably where is the source code location. Where is the test cases location, where is the UI code location, everything they need to specify and they need to write. Now once Maven tool introduction, all of these life cycle phases, we can simply copy paste the command and it does the activity. And in this slide, so small introduction about each and everything which I have experienced. The same documentation is available in Maven in 5 minutes page. So as of now, do you have any questions? Yeah.
So initially, whenever we're starting any new project, so initial setup we have to do with if it is Java project, JDK, and Maven build tool, we have to set up all the things, right?
If it is Java code, we have to go for a Maven tool or Apache Ant or Gradle.
Yeah. So we are using Maven. So initial setup, whatever it requires. So for the project, it will build and it will set up in your local system and in server system also. So developers will start their coding and they will commit their changes, right?
Yes, yes.
So this is the process for Maven and
Yes, yes. So that is the initial setup. Once you do initial coding, that code can be pushed to GitHub or Bitbucket.
yeah.
Once you have pushed your changes to GitHub or Bitbucket, other developers will be able to access the code which you have developed.
Okay. So the Maven faces, we can that validate, compare, test, package, everything. We can find out the errors, right? If we get any errors or any problems, so based on that, we can use these things: verify, install, deploy,
Correct.
inside something.
Correct.
Okay. So if you use a package, it will include all commands, right?
Yes, if you do Maven package, it includes all the packages.
So,
And the next section in the Maven. So this is the same thing which I have explained. Maven has two important things. One is pom.xml and the other one is settings.xml. So in the pom.xml, that called project object model that represents the structure of source code. So that is SRC folder. So whenever you do any kind of Maven command, it requires some dependencies. So first it will look in the local repository called .m2. If it is unable to find any content in the .m2, then it will go to Maven Central. That is why I mentioned number 2. So some companies doesn't have access to reach Maven Central. That means remote repositories. In that context, this Maven again will go to some proxy related servers, and from there it will reach to Maven Central. That is why I mentioned number 3 here. So those proxy providing servers are called Nexus or Artifactory. So this Nexus or Artifactory, these are the tool names are new for you, but these tools can provide some proxies for downloading the plugins for Maven. Not only for Maven, but many of the other tools where like secure network is there. If they wanted to proxy something and download something from internet, these Nexus and Artifactory of the tools will provide that. So this Nexus and Artifactory not only provide the proxies, but also have lot of other features. For example, in the Maven, you have developed one package, either jar file or war file. Those developed files can be stored in the Nexus or Artifactory. That is why these servers are also called as artifacts storage servers. So this Maven will provide this Maven, will produce some of the artifacts called jar files or war files. Those files also can be stored in the this Nexus or Artifactory servers. Nexus is one tool, Artifactory is another tool. Anyone people can use. I hope you understood this layout structure. So in the interview, people might ask you what is Maven and explain what the life cycles of it. So then you don't need to explain in the same order. You can randomly say some of the life cycle commands. That would be enough. They will ask what are the types of Maven repos. You can see remote repository is there, local repository is there, and a proxy repository also there. Proxy, what it does, it will facilitate the opportunity to download the required plugins, the required artifacts, the required dependency plugins from the remote Maven central repository. If you say these 3 terms, that would be enough. Where should we configure repos? Info in Maven, which file? So that's what we call it settings.xml. So the location of settings.xml, we can place it in any location. Basically, it will be represented under Apache Maven and config folder, CUNF folder. What is the difference between Maven deploy and Maven install? Maven install means, I already told you, it will store the downloaded artifacts, downloaded dependency plugins or the plugins to the local profile. that is a local repository called maven.m2 that will be presented under your profile. Maven deploy means it will copy the files which are generated as part of a build stage to the respective servers, either Nexus or Artifactory or any other server which you specify. So that is about the second stage of DevOps. We have seen code, we have seen build, and some portion of deploy we have already seen. We will see about deployment bit in detail in the coming sessions.
Banu, we are not getting your voice.
Hello everyone, can you hear me?
Yeah, Banu.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Okay. So
No, what do you say about the DevOps? Sorry, I mean this.
Yeah, what I'm saying is
Deploy.
we have already seen code, we have already seen build.
Yeah.
As today, and deployment some portion we have seen, like copying that war file, like deploying that war file into Tomcat. We will see about deployment in detail in the coming sessions.
Okay.
If you are very sure about these three stages, any other stage which you will go, those are additional things only. Okay, so but you should be very much clear about these three stages.
Okay, Banu.
And let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, we can disconnect for today. Hemant,
Banu,
yeah.
Downloading this software, I couldn't do second software. I was able to do Java, JDK, but the other one I had some issue. I'm facing some error. I'll just share you after this.